Hi everyone. This is my second video in September. My goal for September is to do a video once a week on writing. Hopefully in October I'll do something a little more robust. I'm not quite ready to commit to that yet fully, but that's the goal anyway. But for now, I'm definitely going to concentrate on doing once a week for September. After last week's video, after watching it back, I thought, it had some good information in it. But I thought the tips were kind of really geared towards mindset, which is super important. You have to be in the right frame of mind to be a successful writer. But I do think it would be a benefit to give you guys some more kind of tangible, actionable things that you can do. And so this week I thought I wanted to do 3 ways to kind of immediately next level your writing. These are 3 tips that are super fast, surprisingly easy, and a way to really see a remarkable difference in your writing very quickly just by implementing them. So I hope that's really helpful to you, and I hope that these are things that you can use to impact your writing really quickly. The first one is to identify and eliminate your crutch words. This was something that was taught to me. I was fortunate enough to go to the Writers Hotel in New York several years ago. I was really blessed and fortunate to be selected and then to meet the wonderful people that I met there. But what I really got was a lot of fundamental and sound advice on writing. And one of my favorite tips that I got there was to learn what your crutch words are and to look to eliminate them wherever possible. Mine was really easy to find. My crutch word is just. I use it in my manuscripts all the time. It's just kind of a natural thing that I do. And my mentor there told me, he's like, you use that a lot. And he's absolutely right, I did. So when I tried to apply his critique, I went through and I took out every instance of the word just in the entire 85,000 word novel, which I don't think that was the correct way to apply that critique, but it's what I did. And then I went back afterwards and kind of looked at where I took out all those justs, and figured out where they really fit in. And what I found is they worked in dialogue, and it was kind of a habitual speech pattern for that character, that's the word that she used as emphasis. So it was okay to use it in dialogue. So as I said, my crutch word is just. Other words that you could look for in your writing would include words like really, a lot, like, so, just kind of words that give an emphasis without really adding any kind of impact, and they're throwaway. So when you find that you're using these words a lot, go back through and really see if you need them. And if you do think you need them, why you need them. Like I said, I took out all those justs, and that was too far, right? But now they're in my manuscript by like a handful instead of like by the hundreds. And it immediately forced me to make better choices, more powerful word choices when I couldn't rely on those crutches. So that's the first tip for you. The second tip for you today is to vary your sentence structure. Immediately after this video, I'm going to post a meme from Gary Provost that I think really illustrates this point beautifully. What I mean by varying your sentence structure is to not use a bunch of long sentences in a row, or not use a bunch of medium-sized sentences in a row, or not use, those short staccato sentences or fragments in a row. They all have their place, and they're all really powerful when used correctly, judiciously, and in combination with each other. I'm super guilty of using sentence fragments. I love them. I think they're so powerful, and I like that kind of timbre that they give your writing. But when you have all these staccato things in a row, it almost overstimulates the reader. And the reverse holds true for long sentences. They kind of lull your reader to sleep. You really want that variety. And I think if you read the meme that I post out loud, you'll see immediately that kind of musical quality that variation has. I think he calls it magical. He might call it musical. I don't know, but it is musical and magical to me. It really next levels your writing right away to give it that kind of flow and rhythm that you can only get by having that variation. And my last tip for you may seem really obvious, but it's something that people just really forget to do or don't value enough, and that's using action verbs whenever possible. Keep your writing as active as possible. And words like was and felt and had, they are not your friends. They weaken your writing, and they take the immediacy and the impact and the emotion out of it. I'm going to give, this is not the greatest example in the world, but I think it illustrates the point, right? If you say something like, Beth felt cramped on the crowded cruise deck, right? That's perfectly serviceable. You're telling people what she was feeling. You're describing where she is. You're telling them what happened. But does that sentence do anything at all to tell your reader or a potential agent that this is someone with a command of the language and a command of storytelling and a command of description? Absolutely not. This says, I am a serviceable writer with no imagination. Beth felt cramped on the crowded deck. If you can turn that around and use more active words, Beth was jostled on all sides as crowds of people poured into the cruise deck. I get this is not the greatest example in the world, but when you use words like jostled and packed and it kind of, what it does is it gives an immediacy to your writing, and people relate to it. They feel that. They feel what your character is feeling because you've made it active and present, and they feel it in real time. And that's important to you. So those are my 3 tips, right? Action verbs, varying your sentence structure, and to look for and eliminate your crutch words. Those are 3 ways to next level your writing super fast and super painlessly. I hope you can use those tips this week to work on your writing, and I will see you next week with another video. Thanks.